What was my first thought when the decision was finally made? I was looking for the medicine cabinet to find some recreational pharmaceuticals.
You know, I worked this project with the NRO for almost 2 years, and what was really amazing was the support of the town of Breckenridge, the town council, the Chamber of Commerce, everybody in town.
And we were just completing the river improvements, the restoration of the Blue River, which previously was a drainage ditch running through the middle of town full of trash.
For a long time, early on, it was just a bunch of piles of rock from the dredge boats coming through and turning the river upside down. But it got leveled. There was some town tennis courts around this area for a while, and just a flat area for parking primarily. There had been a commitment to the arts for sure, not nearly as much as what's going on today, but it was there.
When I was president, I was at town council meetings almost every meeting to discuss things going on with the festival, and especially because the NRO leadership was in Denver most of the time. And it happened to be the same week that the NRO found out they had a financial problem, a big one. We're committed to come to Breckenridge. You need to go tell Gary Martinez and Steve West that we're going to come and everything's okay. And I called Gary and said, here's what Tom told me. And the town voted that night to build Riverwalk, regardless. So you know, they were committed. NRO was committed. We were committed. Compared to what we had before, it was amazing. You know, it had some problems. It was a large tent. It made noise when the wind blew. It made noise because of traffic outside. We had to stop concerts in heavy rain because it made so much noise on the roof. I know our first year with Gerhard Zimmerman, he stopped in the middle of a concert and told cellist jokes for about 20 minutes because of the noise on the roof from the rain.
This is a time the town, early 90s, the town of Breckenridge had started to take off as a popular resort. The town was fortunate to have a very good capital improvement budget, and that capital improvement budget is where the funds came from for the Riverwalk Center. We told the council over and over again we were on budget, but it was about a $2.5 to $3 million budget. It seems like a little pittance these days, but it was a big jump for the town then.
The golf course by then had become a big success. Summer was getting busier. Revenues were starting to flow pretty well. We paved a lot of streets which weren't paved, 6 or 8 years before. And the other thing, I think, with the lawn behind here, it became kind of a focal point for events like the town party has been held here ever since this facility was done. There's been a town party, and they open up the doors, and you got a place to go undercover if you need to. Otherwise, if it's a nice afternoon, which it often isn't, everybody's out on the lawn having a great time, saying hi to people they haven't seen in a long time. And so I think it's become a real gathering place in the middle of town.
The Riverwalk Center definitely exceeded our expectations. The town had promised to build us a tent. This is really some tent, I said on opening night.
I think the decision to move forward with the Riverwalk Center changed everything. It became a much bigger deal. We were in the big leagues all of a sudden with a building that needed to be filled up more than just a few weeks in the summer.
So the leap of faith we took 30 years ago really was a leap of faith, because we, perfectly honest, didn't know what kind of success or possible failure this thing would be. But over the years, the town has supported the facility, and more than that, they put the permanent roof on and finished it, so to speak. And then I don't think people think about it much, but this is kind of the base on which that new arts district was added to the town. And I think that over the years that council and the staff have done a fantastic job of keeping the arts as an important part of this community, so it's not just a resort community with recreational activities.
I never could have imagined the level of commitment the town has had, and sometimes I think those of us that are so close to it might tend to forget that we have such an amazing community members, as well as our town council, the town manager, those folks that recognize this venue as something that they want to be successful, and they entrust that to us.
When the NRO began its first rehearsal in the Riverwalk Center, I heard the first measures of classical music to be performed there. It brought tears to my eyes.
I salute the town council for making a very tough decision to spend a lot of money on something that, frankly, at the time we had no idea how successful the arts were going to be in Breckenridge. So thank you for those decisions. You guys were pioneers.
It didn't happen because of a few people. It happened because of a lot of people got involved and got very positive, found the money to do it, and made it happen. What really surprised me was we built this whole facility over one winter. And it was amazing that got done, and got done in a very fine way. So the town did a great job in this whole project.
Yeah, I think the support from the town, starting with the original decision and then with the additions and for all the other things the town has been doing in the arts, has been fantastic. This may have started a small fire.
The very first concert was very exciting. This little community that I moved to in the early 90s, and it skied here in the 70s and the 80s. And here we are. Yeah. Was not expecting this.